back again. Welcome to week 4 of Couch to Camino. I'm Reverend Beck. This is Kristen with me here, my youngest. And it is day 22. We had a rest day yesterday, day 21. I had 2 church services and then some family stuff to do, so I had a rest day and a sleep in the afternoon. So we've come for a wander over in the park today for day 22. Kristen's going to go and have a play on the playground, and I'm going to do a bit of a loop, a couple of kilometres at least. Let's go.
Alright, I go this way. See ya.
So, I've walked a total of just over 45 kilometres since March the 2nd, which I honestly can't wrap my head around when I think about it. I mean, I think I went from nothing to that. I find it very hard to say I'm proud of myself, but I am proud of myself. It's a massive change. And it's got to be beneficial in the long run to be doing that. So yeah, it's awesome. I have discovered that the only problem with my theory of walking in the afternoon or evening is that if the day gets away from me, the walk can get pushed out, and that has almost happened today. I only planned to come over here to the park anyway, but I'm having to do it in a bit of a rush while one of my daughters is in the shower because I need to help her afterwards with her after shower routine. So it's just a bit dicey as to sometimes I may not make it out of the house because of the dynamics of our household. But I can't quite convince myself to get up at 6 o'clock every morning to go for a walk. I'm going to go up this hill and see how Kristen's doing. Oh, she's over there. Hello! How are we? Yay! Alright, we're going to do a lap of the oval. Sort of oval. It's not really an oval, but a big space. We're going to do a lap together. Alright, let's go. Alright, now we're headed around the playground. Targets off in the distance, no archery happening right now, so we're safe to be on this embankment. I think we're both going to appear a bit flat and lacking energy today on the video, because I think we're hitting that spot where we're just a little tired, but
I'm energetic.
We're still going, still keeping going. That's the idea. Let's go around this car park and then head back home. Sounds like a plan. Exercise ring closed. Woohoo! I'm slowing down at the end of this one. Motivation is low for some reason, I don't know. Stopping yesterday didn't help probably. I think definitely walking every day is going to be better rather than I had been thinking maybe 6 days a week might be possible, but stopping completely yesterday was not a good idea, I don't think. I'm not particularly sore, just puffed out and not feeling that great. But anyway, walked just over 2 kilometres, 32 minutes. That's day 22 done. One to check off. All right, see you, Kristen. Bye. Hello, it is day 23. I got up from a nap at 7:06 p.m. because I've got into a bad habit of evening naps, and we are going for a walk down on the Esplanade. We're going to do 2 kilometres in each direction, hopefully, making it a walk of 4 kilometres because we're ready to step it up, aren't we, Kristen?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. So, part of the fibromyalgia is quite severe lethargy, and I've been experiencing that over the past few days. I had a day of quite considerable pain on Saturday where I didn't think I was actually going to get through the funeral in the morning, but I did. Although that has been followed by a few days of feeling very, very tired. This is quite unrelated to the walking. I'm experiencing my fibro just as I normally would, regardless of the walking, so we're just going to keep going. It does mean that my motivation is quite low and we're getting out for walks quite late in the day, but other than that, we're going to keep pushing on. How do you feel about walking at night, Kristen?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it at 12 a.m. before, so after concerts and stuff, but...
Yeah, I don't know, I'm not so keen, but I suppose the thing is that there's actually lots of people out here at the moment, so I guess it's safe to an extent. Coming up to 1.5 kilometres, and I'm really having to push through a mental barrier going, it's dark, it's night time, I want to turn around, but I think we're going to push to the 2Ks. Is that all right with you, Kristen?
Yeah, I'm getting first to it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get a drink on the way home. All right, we're going to push through to 2 kilometres. Let's go. The light is getting really low now, so this footage is going to be a bit blur, but I wanted to say it's actually really nice here at night. The breeze is blowing, which is quite lovely, and just the quiet swooshing of the waves is really beautiful. So it's actually a really pleasant time to walk, which is nice. What do you reckon, Kristen? You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Okay, 2 kilometres down. We're going to head back the other way. Let's go. Three k's down, 1 to go. Struggling a bit tonight, but we're doing it. All right, let's go. Okay, so we did 4.08 kilometres in 68 minutes. So it was a slow
68.
4 kilometres, but we did it. Obviously, it brings up all sorts of thinking about if walks are going to be an hour or so, when do I fit it in? Walking at night is not ideal, although there were heaps of people around, so we were perfectly safe. I can see the rationale behind getting up early in the morning and walking. You know, if you add an extra hour to the start of your day, then your walk is out of the way and it's done. You don't have to worry about it all day. Yeah, but easier said than done for me because I'm not a morning person at all.
Neither, but
But on the Camino, people set out quite early, usually out before the sun rises, so it is something that I need to get used to. What else was I thinking about? The other day when I felt shaky just before 3 kilometres, I had that again today. I did exactly the same thing I did the other day. I had a snack before I had my nap. Then I got up, had some sugar-free drink and came straight out. And expected a different result today, which of course was very silly. The same thing happened. I got to 2.6 kilometres and felt dizzy and shaky, and anyway, so I just need to be looking after myself a bit better, drinking water, having sustaining snacks. Yeah, okay, so day 23 was a tough one, but huge achievement because that's the first time we've walked 4 kilometres. That's the furthest we've walked in one go so far. So really feeling good for having broken through that barrier. We really had to push through. But day 23, walk done, happy days. Now to go and get some frozen drinks. Yay! And see you tomorrow.
Rejoice in God our Saviour. Who has done great things for us. Holy is His name. Amen.
I just attended the Mothers Union 150th year anniversary Ladies' Day service, and I was actually finally inducted as a member. I managed to sidestep it for 46 years, but I think it's very appropriate that I've become a member now. It's quite warm this afternoon. I will be walking later on. I've got some family stuff on this afternoon and then fitting in a walk later. See you then. Hello, it is day 24 of my preparation for the Via Di Francesco. Today we are doing more Coast Divines rail trail. This time we are going from Wheatsheaf Road north. Hi, Kristen.
Hi.
All right, let's go see what we can do. So, Kristen,
Yeah.
when I was at the local high school, this was actually part of my walk home. So I'm very familiar with this part of the track, although it looks very, very different now to what it did when I was walking it.
Because that was like 30 years ago, wasn't it?
Yes, it was approximately 30 years ago. A little bit more than that, actually. Thanks for that, Kristen. But anyway, it looks very different now, so I'm intrigued to see what it's all about.
If your bike's broken, like banners and stuff to help your tyres and stuff.
That's very cool. Bike repair station.
How long it is?
Very cool
I don't know
idea.
where to go next on the other.
And good to note for us is a toilet along the way.
Probably the best way.
Will she do the track down there or won't she? We've come up quite a climb. How are you going, Kristen? Yep, it's quite steeply uphill. Quite steeply uphill. How are you going, Kristen?
Yeah, good.
Good. 1k down, 3 to go. Here's another rest station over here. Somewhere to sit. With history about Carrara. How you going, Kristen?
Yeah, good.
Yep, head down, keep walking. I reckon we're doing pretty well. It's certainly a lot easier in the cool weather, isn't it? Which is a good thing that we're doing the Coast to Vines when it's cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, that's 2K, so we're going to turn around and go back the way we came. Let's go. So if we can keep our pace up, Kristen, we are on our way to smashing our time from yesterday. So that's awesome. So I have to set the record straight a little bit, Kristen. I was talking about Nana the other day and about how I had no memory of her exercising when I was young. And I really did mean when I was little, because I know that later in her life she did take up walking for fitness after doctors recommended it. Are we going to get rained on, Kristen?
Yeah.
Hope not. I suppose it would make the walk fun if we got wet. Still, I hope we don't. I'll get the bridge going backwards. I used to have to go down that little track to go to primary school when I was in year 7. It's down the bottom there is the school. But I don't believe this part of this track was ever here. It was a big hill that just stopped, because I remember coming down it on my BMX bike one day and just stopping in time before it dropped away. 200 metres to go, Kristen. We're nearly there. Woo! There's the finish line in sight. Yahoo! Okay, as we pile Bella into the car, that's day 24 done. We've done 2 back-to-back 4-kilometre walks and I feel good. What do you reckon, Kristen?
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah. Alright, see you tomorrow. Okay, we are on day 25. When we say it like that, it sounds like an awful lot. We are just over at the park again today. We did back-to-back 4-kilometre walks yesterday and the day before. So we're having a break today. And I'm just going to walk enough to close my exercise ring, hopefully. It's a bit of a perspective change to call just walking for 20 to 30 minutes a break. But there you go. That's what can happen in 25 days. All right. Let's go. Bit of a windy one today, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think this is only the second time I've worn this jacket for my walks. That's 1 kilometre down. Exercise ring, that's the green one, nearly closed. We're going to head back home now. Exercise ring closed. So I don't know whether I ever explained that. I sort of said if you know, you know in that first video. On the Apple Fitness app, you can set what length of exercise you want to do each day, and I set it to half an hour. That was its recommendation. I had thought about dialing it up to 40 minutes this week, but I think I'm going to leave it at half an hour, so that's just the minimum, and it's, you know, your recommended daily exercise. So at least I'm checking that daily minimum box each day, if not doing more. Sounds like a plan. Okay, so that's day 25, nearly done. By the time we get back around the corner, it'll be about half an hour, just under 2 kilometres. That's it. Done. Hello and welcome to day 26. I'm walking on my own today. I had all the excuses to not come out, and I wasn't going to until about half an hour ago. I had a lay-in because I wasn't feeling 100%, and I've had a fairly quiet day, except that we had to take Bella to the vet because she's having surgery on Wednesday. So we were just getting a second opinion about that, and yes, she needs to have the surgery. You might have noticed a little lump under her throat. So we got home from that, and my husband and Kristen have gone out to the city, and I had all the excuse just to stay home and call it a rest day. But I've come out, I was itching to get out. I'm like, I've got to walk. So there we go. We're gonna walk. So I'm back on a portion of the Coast of Irons Trail that I've done previously, and I've actually sat down and mapped out this afternoon where Kristen and I will stop along the way, and it's honestly so easy. If you've ever thought about it, or maybe you never knew about the Coast of Irons rail trail until I started talking about it, and you want to give it a shot, over 2 days it's really so doable. I think there's longer walks in the afternoons which might test us a little bit, but there's places to stop along the way, and once you break it down into chunks, it appears so much more doable. So this was the Morphettvale station. There's a seat here, and there is a fountain at this one. So I've worked out there's 3 categories to the walking so far, because that's what my brain does, it categorises things. There's the distance training, which we're up to 4 kilometres at a time at the moment, and we'll stretch that out further and further as we go. And then there's terrain training, where I'm practicing going up and down those tricky tracks to train for the forests initially. And then there's just dialing it in to stay active. And that's probably what this walk falls into the category of today. Trying to close my exercise ring of half an hour each day, and to keep my body moving so that it doesn't decide that it's going to seize up and pack it in. So that's the 3 categories that I've come up with. Like I said, so far. There might be more, who knows. So this is where during my first week I hit 1 kilometre in one direction for the first time, and the dogs were singing in the background. It's interesting to see how far I've come. There's a main road just up ahead. I'm going to go up there and turn around and go back. This was the Yetto stop, apparently. There's a place to sit here, but no water fountain. I took the path back there last week, I think. This time I'm going to turn around and head back to the car. This trail, do I or don't I? Okay, the answer is yes, I do. So this turns into a little bit of terrain training, although it's pretty flat and pretty straightforward. I spotted the first time I did this trail that this ran alongside. So I thought I'd give it a shot because I know it goes all the way through to the main road that I'm parked on. So let's see what happens. Back on the main track, I'm not sure it goes all the way through because those couple look like they go over to the road over there, those little shortcuts. So I think I talked about being outdoorsy in a previous video, and I was also very active as a child. I did jazz ballet for many years, right through up to almost a level where I could teach it, and then we moved here from Tasmania and there wasn't the same system, so I couldn't complete it. I did marching girls for a year, but that wasn't really the same. And I did swimming as well in Tassie to quite a medium level. So I was always very active. So I actually really enjoy the adrenaline you get from exercising and find it quite addictive. And in the past that has meant I've pushed myself too hard, which has resulted in injuries and problems. So I think I just need to be careful that I don't push too hard. I can see the main road up ahead and I'm like, I want to keep walking. But just sensible doses regularly. I think that's the key. Particularly a lot of joggers out tonight, and I'm a little envious. But due to my injury to my right knee, which I never got proper physio and everything for at the time, I don't think I'll ever be a runner. But I do watch them and turn a little green with envy. 2.34 kilometres in 34 minutes. Done. I'm really happy I came out. I feel quite elevated in my mood and quite positive and not really sore at all. I got a little bit sort of in my hips and my lower back, but nothing to really note. I'm really surprised with how this is going, and I'm pretty blown away. I'm thinking that we're going to have no problem doing the Coast of Vines rail trail, and I reckon all things being a bit more right in the world than they are right now, I should be able to go to Italy in September. It's kind of crazy. All right, day 25 I think it is. Done. Hello.
Hi.
It is day 27. I think I have yet again got myself mixed up with the days on this week, but anyway, it's definitely day 27 today. We are at Happy Valley Reservoir today, and we're doing a 4 kilometre round track, and it said it was grade 3 with some steep hills, so I've got my hiking poles to try them out today. All right, you ready, Kristen? All right, let's go. So I'm already finding that it's hard to film and use the poles and keep track of everything. I've seen these little gadgets that hook to your pack and have like a extendable line so that you can hang your phone and grab it when you need it. But also I'm wondering, you can get a single walking pole. So I'm going to see how I go with these on the up and down slopes and whether I really need to, and go from there. And I've also seen on videos I've watched people just pick a stick when they first arrive on the Via Di Francesco and just use it all the way through. So now I'm scanning for appropriate walking sticks. So I forgot for the first time to start my fitness app. I would say we did 300 to 500 metres before I started it, so the count will be wrong all the way through, unfortunately. So thinking about the poles and all the other bits and pieces, I forgot the app. Are you sweating in your raincoat, Kristen? No. I am a bit. You're listening to the Beatles. Appropriate shirt. I've read about these raincoats sweating and I'm definitely feeling it with this one. I'm kind of regretting my purchase, but I'm not sure they had the others in my size. So there are ventilated ones, but I'm not sure they go up to my size. So tomorrow is Palm Sunday and we're heading into Holy Week. So I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to fit walks in. Pretty much Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are all pretty full on days. So Tuesday and Wednesday I might be able to fit in longer walks, but I'll also be squeezing everything else into those days and writing sermons and all those sorts of bits. So we'll have to see what happens, but I think it will be a lot of just dialing it in, doing the minimum half an hour each of those days during the week. You'll get lots of park footage, and that's okay. So the track we want to take, and I guess this happens sometimes, is under reconstruction. So we are just going to turn around and go back the way we came and just do whatever walk we do today. And like I said, this is going to happen sometimes. The Coast of Irons was actually, a section of it was under reconstruction recently, but that has actually finished. So it's all open all the way through, and we know that's going to be the case in May. Okay, let's go. So I can spot the tree up ahead where I said that I hadn't had the watch going. So I can actually note the distance then, figure out how far we go, and then figure out how much I didn't record. So all good, we can work it out. So we got back to that tree and then I went to look at my watch and it again wasn't going. I don't know how that happened and when it turned off, but I'm sure it's to do with fussing with these poles and putting my phone in and out of my pocket. I may be able to work out the distance we've walked from where we stopped, because that's where the trail splits, so I might be able to work out on a map the distance we walked. Otherwise, unfortunately, we're going to have no idea how far we walked today. But anyway, we're going to keep going, aren't we, Kristen? Get back to the car and just call this one done. Okay, so trying to work it out. My watch says we did a combo of 1.92 and then 700 meters, and then there was time when it wasn't recording and the first 700 meters. And we walked for about an hour, but we did stop a couple of times to take footage and bits and pieces. I don't know, I'm going to call it 3 kilometers conservatively, so that's what I'm going to put in my app. Anyway, day 27 done.